me away.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Majestic speaking, coming to you with another episode of Mech Warrior Online here. And today we're taking out the Mad Dog H variant. Now, just a quick note to you guys, this isn't a true H variant. It is a little bit of a Frankenstein build here, but we are incorporating at least one of the Mad Dog H Omnipods. So that does count, technically. So we'll look at everything in just a second here, but first we're going to go through a round of gameplay. Here on Tourmaline Desert, we are playing Assault Game Mode. Now, we just did get nailed by a strike, and as you can see, I have 6 Medium Pulse, 6 SRM2s, and we have this King Crab pushing up on top of the little plateau over there, getting a little bit toasty between those Medium Pulse and the SRM2s, but we did get some good salvos in there, put some decent damage down, and right over the top here we have this Timberwolf coming towards us, or the Mad Cat, and it looks like he's trying to get aggressive. His friend in the corner that looks like he's getting aggressive. They have someone in Death Valley who's trying to get aggressive, so that just means we're going to take aggression on their backside. It looks like they're pushing up, so we're going to go for their backside. And looking down on the mini-map, I don't want to get too aggressive by myself and leave my back completely open. I do want to have a little bit of cover. I want to make sure that I have some teammates around me just in case I do get shot, and a couple of them do get some shots in on even some of my friendlies, so that we have at least some sort of resistance against getting completely outflanked. And that's really what the name of the game is right now. It's 2-3, so it's pretty close, as you can see. We haven't taken too much damage even since that airstrike came down. That's really the only thing that I could say was pretty significant in you know, hitting me. But now we just need to keep an eye on every single area behind us, next to us, just because we know where they were pushing from, and we don't want to get flanked from there. So we have to have all of our exits and entrances covered. Now we have this Timberwolf who looks like he is completely out of position. We took off one of his torsos. He's chasing our poor little Irby, and I'm able to take him down very, very quickly through those 6 medium pulse lasers going through the backside. Now forming up again through the canyon. We're looking down the barrel of a gun there because it did look like they had a couple guys coming our way, but we're not going to let them take advantage of the flank. You know what? I'm going to stick this one out and help out my team if I can. Let them get the backside, and I'll just stick over here and take the front side so that at least we have some constant pressure on them. This Mauler coming out looks like he's putting some large pulse lasers into me. He does have some help from that Cicada. We got the kill there, so he goes down, but they still have a Mauler pushing up, and he is accompanied by a Battle Master. So both of these guys are pushing up. Cord center torso on the Mauler. Hopefully he goes down very quickly. It looks like it should only be just a couple more seconds till he goes down. They did even up the score there, 6-7, but then we pulled the kill back on that. I'm guessing it was the Mauler that went down, and that Battle Master goes down. So now we're focusing up on the Fortress, which is all-encompassing of the Delta 6 quadrant. So it looks like they still have that Marauder 2C up there, and this Warhammer, which looks like, I'm guessing he's still defending with the Marauder 2C. Our friendly is actually going in on this Warhammer, so this guy's completely distracted, and his center torso gets taken out. So now it's 9-7, and we're going to push over the top, going for this Marauder 2C. We have the DPS to keep firing into this guy, taking off one of his torsos, and now we're going to go after, but he does have help from a dragon, and ultimately we get taken out. It is 9-9 right now. Preliminary stats for the round popping up on your screen just then, but we're going to see how the rest of this plays out. We have a Nova going for the dragon and this Marauder 2C. The Marauder 2C just needs that other torso taken off, and he'll be out. Yes, there he goes. So that other torso gets taken off, and that was able to pop him with that XL, that Clan XL engine. But this dragon is very, very fresh. It's 10-9 right now, and we have a breaker that's just going in on this guy, getting down as much damage as he possibly can, and a horrible overheat. Oh my gosh, that was a horrible overheat. We did get a kill, but that dragon was able to get the kill on our breaker just then, but he overheated as well. So now we have, I'm guessing it's that Annihilator or the Warhawk. Yeah, it's the Annihilator in the background with the ballistics that goes right through the back armor to land the final kill shot and end the round. 12-10 is your final, ladies and gentlemen. A huge and very intense round there. 2 kills, 9 assists, 3 KMDDs, 1051 damage with 7 components destroyed. A fantastic round of gameplay, excellent teamwork. landed the crit shots, landed the kills, ultimately getting all of those guys down to end the round. But it's very significant how this mech performed on this kind of hot map. But let's head back into the mech lab and go through the rest of the details of this build before we go to round 2. Here we go. Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Mech Lab, where we're going to go through the details for the build on the mech I have in front of me, the Mad Dog H variant. Now, first thing I want to point out to you guys, you can pick up the Mad Dog H variant in the store in order to get its Omnipods. Now, is it worth the C-bills? Maybe not. It depends on how you look at it. For me, purchasing the H variant, I wanted to complete the entire series of Mad Dogs because the Mad Dog is my favorite mech in the entire game. And what's unique about the H variant as opposed to any of the other Mad Dog variants is that it's the only one with 3 energy hard points offered in the Omnipod for the left arm. So that is specific. That is very unique to the H variant, and that's the reason why I wanted to put it out there in a video for you guys. In case you want to pick it up for yourselves, you will be able to pick up all the H variant Omnipods. Now, stock, it comes with 4 energy and 2 missile. Obviously, if you guys are familiar with the Mad Dog chassis and any of the other variants on the Omnipods that they have to offer, you could switch those out and use a lot more of that tonnage to your benefit in case you want to, bring out some more firepower. So let's head over to, first let's look at the Mech Lab for the overview. Exactly what I placed on this. You saw the first round of gameplay, so you know what I have it equipped with, but just checking out what's offered here. We have 0 ballistic, 6 energy, 6 missile, 0 AMS, 0 ECM. Very, very symmetrical in these Omnipods, and that was definitely something that I took into consideration here. It's more of a DPS build than anything, and really what we're doing is, like I said, we only kept the H variant left arm because it's the only one that offers 3 energy hard points in that left arm. All the others either have 2 energy, or some form of ballistics, whether it's the C or the A variant. As for the right arm, the B variant is the only one that provides us with 3 energy hard points for options. The H variant only comes with 1. So that's where the conundrum is. You're going to want to switch them out if you want to have more firepower, or you could stick with only having 1 energy if you want, and then maybe boating some more heat sinks or something like that, and maybe a targeting computer to fill out the rest of the tonnage. It's really up to you guys how you want to play it. This is how I like to play it. It's very, very enjoyable as a DPS build. As for the torsos, as you can see, the H variant only comes with 1 missile in each torso, versus the A variant that comes with 3 in each torso. So you can see the A variant torsos up there, the H variant left arm, and as I mentioned, the B variant right arm. And as I said, very, very symmetrical. 3 missile hard points in each torso, 3 energy hard points in each arm. I did put some ammo down here. 4 tons for 6 SRM2s is very it's decent. It's sometimes you might run out, especially if you're constantly churning through it. This is a DPS monster, and the SRM2s have the fastest cooldown out of any missile weapon. So you're going to be churning through the ammo if you get a lot of face time, or you're magnifying the damage that the rest of your team is putting out. So it really does depend in what capacity you use it and how, I guess, aggressive you want to be towards your opponents. I'm very aggressive. 4 tons is just about, it's on the border there. So obviously, as you're firing through these salvos, you're sending out 12 missiles per salvo. But then if you look at the cooldown, you're looking at 2 seconds, and then if you add anything else from the skill tree, it's even quicker. So that's really what I wanted to point out about this mech, is so many people are thinking that the Mad Dog is only good for that 6 SRM6 or 6 SRM4, putting on the Artemis and just going full splat with this mech. But if you ton down some of the missile hard points and you utilize some of the energy in the arm hard points, then you can really create another monster here, and that's really what I wanted to showcase for you guys today. So 60 out of 60 tons, 71 out of 78 slots, 364 out of 402 armor. I took 10 out of the head and then 14 out of each leg, which brings it down to 364 out of 402. 1.09 is the heat management, which sounds very, very heat intensive. So if you want, technically you can maybe strip, 3 of these to make the mediums as opposed to medium pulse. You could slap on 2 more double heat sinks and a targeting computer, and you'll be fine. What I rather have done is keep the medium pulse on there. I have 20 double heat sinks in total, 10 in the engine, 2 on top of the engine, and then 8 scattered throughout the rest of the mech between the torsos, the arms, and even that center torso. So it does have very quick heat dissipation. Now, you know, this is taking everything into consideration here. If you start chain firing with this mech, the heat is very, very manageable. I'm not saying that you won't overheat, especially if you're very aggressive and very trigger happy like I am, but it's very, very manageable if you're very disciplined in that regard in holding back when you know that you should be managing the heat a little bit more effectively, backing up, getting back into cover for a little bit before you push back out again and start firing. 66-point alpha is what we have to work with here between the 6 medium pulse and the 6 SRM2s. 87.1 kph is what we have to work with for the speed. I did add speed tweak to this mech, and it comes stock with an XL300. Now, the SRM2s also have an added benefit in that without using Artemis on here, you're saving a lot of tonnage because of the fact that with Artemis, you add usually at least another half ton. You know, and so that's really where the benefit comes from using these missile hardpoints, where per ton, this is very, very beneficial in that you're only using a half ton per SRM2. So, you know, the strike capacity and the DPS, the constant churning through that ammo is really coming to your benefit here, especially in the late stages of the game, where you can fire off salvos really quick, you know, crit out those components, strip the components, get those crit shots, get the kills, and ultimately secure the victory. As for the skill tree, let's head over to the skill tree so you see what I have to offer here. Combination between the missile and generic hard points. Originally, I was going to go with some laser duration, but I don't really need, you know, the energy or the laser duration nodes in this capacity. I'd rather focus more on heat gen, and even the cooldown range and so forth is really where my focus was. And then with the high-mounted missile hardpoints, obviously you don't want to face tank with a Mad Dog. It's not known for brawling. It doesn't have bonus structure or armor or anything like that. So you do have to be careful, especially up on the front lines, which adds to the fact that I wanted to use those nodes for the higher-mounted hardpoints in the missile hardpoints using the high explosives and the missile rack. I wanted to add one node of missile rack here so we get a little bit of a bump in the ammo that we're using, just because again, as I mentioned to you guys, I do get a little trigger happy, so churning through the ammo is really where I'm coming from here, in not actually, you know, going too quick through it, and that we still have some left to make it through the entire battle. Jeez, learn English here, Majestic. Okay, moving on. Mobility. We're going with kinetic burst, torso pitch, torso speed, all the way down to speed tweak. I took a couple things off here for, you know, anchor turn, a little bit of a kinetic burst, torso pitch. Those aren't as critical to me as some of the other stuff. Also, it doesn't come with any armor or structure quirks, so I didn't use any of this skill tree. I felt that it was more beneficial to focus on firepower. It's a quick hitter kind of mech, you know, using those alphas, and I did strip some armor off of it, so, you know, we're not amplifying it as a tank out there on the battlefield. We're using it strictly for what I'm using it for, which is DPS, late game, constant damage into your opponents to make them want to back up and not want to go up against you, you know, and face tank on their end. So heading over to the operations, wanted to keep this mech as cool as possible. So we went with, you know, heat gen, we went with improved gyros because we are going to be a little closer to our opponents out there on the battlefield. Cool run, quick ignition, all that good stuff from the operations tree. So we have a very heat efficient mech here in filling out these nodes. And then the last one, auxiliary, I went with a double cool shot to make this mech even more heat efficient. Now, you guys know that 1.2 is usually the minimum that I accept in my heat management for any mech that I take out there on the battlefield, but here's an exception. I mean, we did fill out a lot of these operations nodes, and we do also have the double cool shot going for us. So if we head on over to the loadout here, messing with the consumables, you can see I went with the double cool shot and an artillery strike. Now in the games that I'm showing you guys, I only have one cool shot in there and one artillery strike. I have messed around with this mech since, and I just messed around. As you can see, I did originally have some of the laser duration nodes on there and so forth, so I still have been messing around with this mech even after creating this video. So I just wanted to show you maybe some other modifications that you can make to it. Obviously, you can go with laser duration and instead of the added cool shot, if you will. But as of this point in time, what I'm messing with out there on the battlefield right now, when I take this mech out there, is the double cool shot and artillery strike. Obviously, you can configure it either way without one and just have the artillery strike and then add the skill points wherever you want to choose. But that's going to do it for the overview that we have on this Mad Dog H variant, the brand new variant that came along with the hero not too far back. And so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what it's capable of and give you some ideas in case you want to purchase it and take it out on the battlefield for yourselves. But that's going to do it for the overview. Let's head back out onto the battlefield with the brand new Mad Dog H variant. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go. Round number 2 is going to take place on the Mining Collective, which is definitely beneficial for this mech and the build that we're coming in here with. Constant DPS at closer ranges. That is the ticket here. We are also playing Domination Game Mode, which is also very, very beneficial for this type of gameplay. And now we're just focusing up wherever we can right now, probably catching a couple of these guys out of position. So we're looking along the Charlie line there. And it seems as though a couple of mechs didn't happen to group up with their team first before they made their advance onto the battlefield. So we're going to take advantage wherever we can. We are receiving a little bit of DACA fire in front of us. And right in front of us, we have this Cataphract, very, very aggressive Cataphract, going probably towards the rest of his team. We did happen to take that arm off, though, so that arm belongs to us now. Not sure if it was a dummy arm because the Cataphract is focused more on the right side of the mech for most of the firepower. But now we're going to focus in on the other side of that mech, and he is down to half of his loadout with only a UAC-5 and a medium pulse laser left to boot. So we're going to focus in on him if we can. Constant DPS, riding the heat scale a little bit because Mining Collective is a little bit warmer of a map. And this guy's trying to get back into cover. He's down to a UAC-5, but finally gets taken out. Now, going on top of one of the buildings here, we see a couple opponents that are trying to group up there, but it does seem as though these guys are a little spread out, a little too spread out. So focusing up on the ramp now, we're going for one of the assaults that's heading towards the center, towards where that domination beacon is. They did put down a strike, so we are a little bit damaged, but not too much. And right across the screen, there goes an Arctic cheetah flying on top of one of the buildings there. So we do need to keep our eyes out because he could be a little bit of a backstabber. But pushing up on top of the ramp here towards that beacon, we have this Victor right in front of us, and he's just going to get swarmed by me and the rest of my team. He is accompanied by a Hellbringer, and that Hellbringer's just charging. We definitely have the mech advantage right now. We definitely have the numbers pushing up on this ramp. Going for that other torso, we actually land that kill. It's 4-1 right now. We are riding the heat scale a little bit. We're going to hide behind the beacon just for a moment here, then get another couple quick salvos in. Did happen to overheat, unfortunately, putting in that last medium pulse laser salvo. 5-4 is your score, but we do have the Cicada right in front of us. Now that we have a little bit of heat to deal with, we can afford to get a couple shots into this guy. Just going to try and cycle through my weapons as much as I possibly can, ride that heat scale a little bit more while we push our way through this battle. And that Cicada is now flying around, and he's going to go down pretty quickly if I had to guess. Not entirely sure. Yes, I'm guessing that was him. He finally did go down. But now we're looking across the map. It's 6-5. Our right arm is cored out and turning around because we are receiving some shots from behind us. They have a couple mechs back here that look like they're focusing in on us. Right in front of us, we have an opponent, and it looks like he got taken down, and one of the guys on the far side also got taken down. It is 8-5. We are cored up on our left torso, but that's not going to stop us from engaging with these guys. It's getting close to the end of the round. We're going to put some shots down. Yeah, there's that Arctic cheetah. Looks like the Arctic cheetah got taken out, and this Uziel, he was on top of the building right there. Must have had an XL engine because he popped. I'm guessing he lost one of his torsos, and there he goes. We do have an assault up on the ramp, though. This Atlas came out of nowhere, and we're just going to core up his backside as much as we possibly can. Lay in a couple of alphas. We are going to suffer an overheat. I thought I could have gotten the kill. We're going to turn around real quick. Big salvo into his head and his center torso, and he goes down. So it's 11-6. Final shots here on this Shadowcat, and we get the final kill as well to secure the victory. 12-6 is your final, securing that beacon in the center, and that is going to wrap it up for not only this round, but also the final round of gameplay. 2 rounds of gameplay for you guys today. Let's check out the final stats for the round before we close it out here. 4 kills, 6 assists, 4 KMDDs, 1233 damage with 11 components destroyed. So definitely probably max of what your potential is with this build and this mech. In this kind of situation, everything pretty much went perfectly, and we survived despite being a lighter density, lighter armored, 60-ton clan heavy mech out there on the battlefield. But that's going to do it for the round. An incredible round of gameplay, a lot of firepower to deal with this mech, and as long as you have those lasers, you're obviously going to be able to put out the damage, even if you run through all of your ammo. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check out the links in the description of my link to Patreon, PayPal, Twitch, so that you guys can see every single time I go live. If you want to be a part of the stream and the community for that, the link will be down there in the description as well if you care to follow. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting the channel, for all of these videos, and if you pick up the Mad Dog H, let me know. And if you mess around with it, mix up the Omnipods, turn it into a Frankenstein build, go by the book, keep it stock, whatever the case is, I would love to hear about it. So thank you guys so much for showing some support to my favorite mech in the game with the Mad Dog H, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Take care, guys.